and welcome everyone. Today I am very pleased to have with us Ms. Shabnam Riaz, an experienced and dedicated educator who has been serving in Army Public School since 2007. Let me introduce our guest. Ms. Shabnam Riaz holds a master degree in education and a Pakistan Montessori diploma. She has a rich experience of teaching young learners at the Montessori level, particularly early year stage 1, early year stage 2, and prep classes. With many years of experience working with young children, she has developed valuable expertise in creating a caring, engaging, and child friendly learning environment. Her experience provides an excellent opportunity for us to understand how Montessori education supports children early development, learning, confidence, creativity, and social skills. Ms. Shabnam, it is a pleasure to have you with us today. Welcome to the interview. Ma'am, could you please?
Thank you so much, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Ma'am, could you please introduce yourself and tell us about your educational and professional background?
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Shabnam Riaz, and I am an experienced teacher with the more than 15 years of teaching experience, particularly in early childhood education and teaching preschoolers. I have completed my master's degree in education, and I have started my career in teaching unexpectedly, but with the passage of time and with the experience, I have developed my confidence and commitment to the education.
Okay, ma'am, thank you for introduction. So my next question from you is, you have been teaching at Army Public Schools since 2007. What motivated you to choose teaching as your profession? Are you getting my
Sir, I particularly enjoy working the young children because they are naturally very curious, energetic, and they have eager to explore the world around them. And I find it very rewarding to see a child learn something for the very first time, gain confidence, and gradually become more independent over the years. That's why I am in this profession, I think so.
Okay. After spending so many years in education, what has been your most memorable experience as a teacher?
As a teacher, one of the most memorable experiences is seeing children who were initially very shy, hesitant, and reluctant or struggling gradually become confident learners. When a child who once hesitated to speak starts participating, answering questions, or performing activities independently, I think that is the most satisfying and special moment for a teacher. And these small achievements remind me why I choose to stay in this profession.
Okay, ma'am, you are teaching to young learners and early childhood stage. So, can you explain us what changes have you observed in young learners and teaching practices since you started your career?
There have been many changes. Earlier, teaching was more teacher centered, and while today we focus more on child centered and activity based learning. Uh, Young learners today are more exposed to technology and information as we are dealing with the Gen Alpha. So, teachers need to make more interactive learning and make learning more meaningful. Now we focus more on communication, creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and practical learning rather than only memorization or a ratification system that was experienced of early teaching.
Okay, ma'am, thank you for your answer. Now let's start our basic understanding about the Montessori educations. So, can you explain us what is Montessori education and how it different from traditional teaching methods?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. Basically, Montessori education is child-centered approach, which allows children to learn through hands-on activities. They explore, they do different practices, they experiences different things. While in traditional teaching, the teacher often lets the lesson and children follow instructions. Basically, in Montessori education, the teacher acts more as a guide, as a facilitator who gives children opportunities to explore and learn independently. It focuses on the child's pace, interest, independence, and holistic development of a young mind.
Okay, ma'am. During this advanced time period, most of the parents are thinking and have thoughts about that Montessori education is not important for students. So, start from class one is the basic one. So, can you explain us about the Montessori education, particularly importance for young childrens?
Basically, early years are the foundation of child's personality and learning. Montessori education gives children opportunities to develop independence, concentration, coordination, confidence, and critical thinking or problem solving skills from a very young age. It also allows children to learn through their senses and real life experiences, which is the basic part of this learning, which makes the learning more meaningful and enjoyable for the very young kids.
So, how does the Montessori approach encourage children to learn independently?
Sorry, sir, I'm not audible. You are not audible. Please, can you please repeat the question?
How does the Montessori approach encourage children to learn independently? Have you got my question?
There are some basic principles of. Are you getting me?
Yes, yes. Please carry on.
Okay. Basically, Montessori provides children with the activities that they can explore and complete by their own. Many materials are designed to allow children to recognize and correct their own mistakes. So sometimes they don't need any facilitator to tell them, okay, whether this is the correct way of doing that thing or not. The teacher gives guidance when needed, but does not do the task for the child. This develops confidence, concentration, or decision making, and the sense of responsibility in a young kids.
Okay. So, can you tell us about the importance of prepared and a child-friendly classroom environment for Montessori education?
Okay, the classroom environment plays no doubt a very vital role in a child life. It should be safe, interactive, attractive, organized, very welcoming, and suitable for the child's requirement and needs. Materials should be easily accessible so children can choose, use, and return them independently. A well prepared environment encourages children to explore, concentrate, and become more responsible for their surroundings.
Okay, ma'am, you are teaching earlier stage 1, 2, and prep classes. Can you tell us about the major differences between teaching these children at three levels? What is the major difference between these three levels?
Okay, the major difference is their developmental stage and the level-wise independence. In earlier stage one, we mainly focus on sensory exploration, social adjustment, basic communication, movement, and developing routines. While in earlier stage two, we gradually build vocabulary, fine motor skills, recognition, of shapes, colors, numbers, letters, and simple concepts. But in pre-1, we focus more on school readiness, phonics, early writing, numbers, language, communication, problem solving skills, and independent work. Basically, we gradually teach our child stage wise and level wise,
Okay. Can you tell us?
so that every level learning should remain enjoyable and age appropriate.
Okay. Can you tell us about how do you keep young children engaged with their attention span in a very short?
Sir, actually, young children learn best when activities are short, interesting, and interactive. I use songs, stories, movement activities, hands-on material, role play games, some practical activities, gallery walks, um, and I also change activities when I notice that children are not taking interest in that specific activity. Most importantly, I try to make learning playful because children learn better when they are enjoying themselves.
Okay. My next question is, how do you introduce basic concepts such as numbers, letters, and colors to young learners?
Okay. Okay, I introduce concepts through concrete and hands-on experiences. For example, for numbers, children can count real objects. For letters, I use phonic cards, sound tracing, phonetics, sounds, tracing skills, and tactile activities. For colors and shapes can be taught through sorting, matching, classroom objects, finding activities, hunting activities, and games. While language is developed through story, rhymes, conversation, picture cards, and daily classroom discussions. Uh, though I believe children understand concepts better when they can see, touch, hear, or practice by themselves.
Okay. Ma'am, every child has a different personality and learning ability. How do you deal with individual differences among these learners?
Uh, I believe every child is unique and learns at different pace. I observe each child and I identify their strengths and areas where they need support. I use different activities and teaching strategies according to their need. I avoid comparing children. Basically, what teachers do, they compare children on their grades, on their interest. But what I do, I avoid comparing children with one another and instead focus on their individual progress. My aim is to help every child to move one step forward from where they started.
Okay. Can you tell us about your experience? How do you handle a child who is shy, reluctant to participate?
Sir, I never force a shy child to participate suddenly because he already is in a shell where he don't want to express himself. So first I built a trusting relationship and make the child feel safe and comfortable. I start with one-to-one interaction, then with the peer activities, and gradually move towards smaller group of participation. I appreciate even a small effort and give positive encouragement. With patience and support, children gradually gain confidence. What I think.
Okay. Ma'am, what strategies do you use when a child does not follow classroom instructions?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. When a child?
When a child does not follow classroom instructions.
Okay, when a child becomes restless. Okay, firstly, I try to understand the reason behind his behavior. If the child is tired, maybe he's bored, confused, or maybe he is seeking some kind of attention, I use short and clear instructions and make sure that the child understand what I'm expecting from him. Then I also use movement breaks, engaging activities, positive reinforcement, and consistent classroom routines. What I prefer guiding children positively rather than using harsh punishment, though the punishment is not applicable in our system.
Yes, punishment is not applicable in any education system. So, how a
Sure.
teacher can develop confidence, creativity, and social skills in young children?
Teachers are the one who can provide many opportunities to children to express themselves. I'm taking earlier stage one, so what I used to do that the story time, the role play, group activities, art, music, show and tell activities, conversation activities, and collaborative games are very useful for the communication skills and creativity and social skills in young children. Children should be encouraged to share ideas, make choices. They should be encouraged to solve simple problems and to collaborate with other friends. Most importantly, teachers should listen to children and appreciate their efforts.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So now we are going to discuss about the parents and modern technology education. So can you tell us
Okay.
how important is the role of parents in Montessori education at home?
Sir, parents play a very important role because learning is something that does not stop when the child leaves school, right? Parents can encourage independence by allowing their children to do simple age appropriate tasks by themselves, such as organizing their belongings, toys, helping with simple household activities, or choosing between suitable options. A parent should also provide opportunities for reading, conversation, practical activities, and exploration at home too.
Okay. So what advice would you give those parents who compare their children's progress with other children's?
That is a very important question. I would like to answer it that I would advise parents, please do not compare their child with others, because every child develops a different pace. Instead of asking, why is my child not like that child? We should ask, how has my child improved? Parents should celebrate their child's individual progress rather than comparing with the other kids, and they should work together with teachers to support areas that need improvement of their child.
Yes, ma'am, now the modern technology, which is called AI, is going around
Mhm.
us, and we are passing through the stage of AI technology period. So, can you tell
Mhm.
us about the AI and digital tools can sports earlier teachers?
Yes, definitely. I believe AI and digital tools can support teachers when used responsibly. They can help teachers generate activities, ideas, create differentiate learning materials, prepare lesson resources, and find creative ways to explain concepts. Before that, somehow children, now we are dealing with the Gen Alpha, and now it's the need of the time, and we should be the aware of this AI era, and we find creative ways to explain concepts. However, the technology should support the teacher, not replace the teacher. Early years education depends greatly on human connection, observation, empathy, and understanding each child, because AI is a tool, not having the feelings. So teacher is there for using the AI tools to, you can say, support her teaching, her or his teaching, not to replace the teacher.
Yes, of course, AI tools can't replace the teacher, so they are the helping tools, so we can get guidance and our strategies
Exactly.
from the AI tools. So, my next question
Exactly.
is, what qualities should a successful Montessori teacher have?
Okay, the successful Montessori teacher should be very caring, having patience, observant, respectful toward child, creative and flexible, a good communicator, positive and very encouraging. Uh, the teacher should be organized and willing to learn and improve. Most importantly, a Montessori teacher should understand that the teacher is the guider and facilitator, not simply someone who gives instructions.
Okay, ma'am. So, can you tell us what are the habits a teacher or mistakes a teacher should avoid?
Um, if I want to give advice to new teachers, then teachers should avoid doing everything for the child, giving too many instructions, comparing children, expecting every child to learn at the same pace, and focusing only on academic results. They should also avoid unnecessary interruptions when a child is concentrating. Um, what I think so, a teacher should observe first, understand the child, and then provide appropriate guidance.
Okay, ma'am. Finally, my last question from you is, what message would you like to give to parents about preparing children for their future?
Um, well, I would say that preparing children for the future is not only about teaching them letters, numbers, or academic knowledge. We need to develop their confidence, their curiosity, creativity, their communication, independence, and their holistic development, basically. Parents and teachers should work together because it's a loop in which parents, teacher, and a child stand. So parents, and teachers should work together and provide children with a safe environment where they can explore, where they can make mistakes even to learn and grow. If we give children strong foundation today, we will be better prepared to face tomorrow with confidence.
Yes, of course, ma'am. Student, teacher, and parents are triangular edges of learning outcomes. So these three are the basic core personalities are the for the development and for the betterment of the student. So
Obviously.
thank you so much, ma'am Shabnam, for sharing your valuable experience, practical insights, and thoughts about Montessori education and early childhood development. Your journey as an educator since 2000 is truly inspiring, and I am sure our viewers, teachers, parents, and especially those working with young children will learn a lot from this conversation. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for inviting me to tell me others about the teaching profession, that this noble and prophetic profession, and telling and asking about my advice, and sharing about my experience. Thank you so much.
So, thank you everyone for watching. Allah Hafiz.